Opinionated Idiot.
Hello, and happy Thursday. It is April 13, 2023. Welcome back to another version or episode, or however you want to say it, of the Opinionated Idiot live show. I want to welcome in all the guests this evening. Did you all have fun last night in the members only chat? If you weren't there, you were missing out, because we had a lot of fun over there. It was a good day just to kind of let our hair down, or I don't have much hair left, so if you guys get to let your hair down, then it was a lot of fun. But it was a lot of fun over there, and we're definitely gonna do more of those for my members only. I'm gonna say I apologize this evening. It is extremely hot in my house. I was not prepared for the type of weather that we got here in the Northeast today. It hit 90 degrees in Massachusetts, and I was not ready. I fortunately have an air conditioner in my living room that's on, that's kind of somewhat dribbling cool air into the room I'm in right now. So you might hear my fan going all night, but hey, listen, it's just the way it is. I got to try to stay cool. I have about 1 million lights on me and 2 major LCD screens pointing at me. So there's a lot of heat coming here. So anyway, let's get on with the show. I wanted to start a little early this evening because I do have a couple of things that I want to report on. The first thing that I want to report on is that a suspect in San Francisco in Bob Lee's death has been arrested. If you have not seen that, we'll pull that up. As you know, Bob Lee was the founder of Cash App, a very brilliant mind. And today they actually served a warrant for an arrest. And we're going to bring up this news story, play this really quick. And then I have one more thing that I'm going to get into before we get into tonight's show. So let me pull that up here. Hang on one second. Oh, if I can get this to work. Bada bing, bada boom. Here we go. Let's play through this video really quick.
Breaking news right now on the afternoon edition. An arrest made in the stabbing death of tech executive Bob Lee. Police now telling us the suspect, another tech executive, and a friend of Bob Lee's. Good afternoon. I'm Elizabeth Cook.
And I'm Ryan Yamamoto. A news conference is now set at San Francisco Police Headquarters that will start at 12:30. We will bring that to you live right here at KPIX, but already our team has been uncovering a lot of details about this case. Here's what we know right now. Earlier this morning, investigators in Alameda County served an arrest warrant in Emeryville for 38-year-old Nima Momeni. He was booked into the San Francisco County Jail on a murder charge. And according to his LinkedIn profile, Momeni is the owner of Expand IT. That is an information technology consulting company.
Jocelyn Moran has been covering this story all morning long, and she is at SFPD headquarters. Jocelyn, the arrest came 9 days after the stabbing. What do we know about what happened here?
Right. All right, Liz, Ryan. Well, right now we are inside the SFPD headquarters. As you can see, a lot of us are just getting ready to go into the room where this press conference is set to happen. But we have been getting a lot of details throughout the morning. One of the most shocking details that you have mentioned is that the suspect is a tech executive. And according to a source close to the investigation, that Bob Lee knew him. So before all of this, there was a lot of speculation whether this was a target attack or if it was a random attack. Now we are getting a glimpse into some of those answers here. Now, if you recall, Bob Lee was stabbed to death. This was in the Rincon Hill neighborhood. That happened 9 days ago, like we've been mentioning. We have been given details leading up to this stabbing. And like we've been mentioning, this is according to a source close to the investigation. They tell us that the suspect, Nima Momeni, and Bob Lee were recorded leaving the Millennium Tower prior to the stabbing. They tell us that investigators determined that Lee had arrived on the 400 block of Main Street via a car that was registered under and driven by the suspect. We're also told that the San Francisco DA's office issued an arrest warrant for Momeni. This morning, SFPD served search warrants. This video that we have here is from a neighbor when the arrest happened. And we did speak with someone who just became a neighbor of Momeni's about a month ago.
Absolute shock. Very nice gentleman. Would not have expected that he would be alleged to have committed a murder or a stabbing of any sort. A thorough professional, very nice neighbor. The building's in shock.
The building's in shock? Ooh.
All right, so Liz, Ryan, like we mentioned, this press conference is set to happen in a little bit under than 30 minutes. Of course, we're going to keep you updated, but we still have a lot of questions, and we're hoping to get some more answers during that press conference. Liz, Ryan.
Yeah, Jocelyn, this case has been so shocking, not just to the Bay Area, not just to San Francisco, but across the country.
I always love watching people that report the news. They're so animated and their voices get all crazy like this. And we're going to take you down there to the street and actually show you what's going on. It's so funny.
But we are getting a lot of reaction from people locally. What are they telling you?
I don't sound like that.
Yeah, Liz, I mean, if we remember, just this sent shockwaves really throughout the San Francisco community and really just around the country. But when it comes here to San Francisco, we talked a lot about safety concerns, especially in the Rincon Hill neighborhood. That was something that a lot of people brought up, just how safe is the neighborhood and just the city overall. Now the narrative is shifting a little bit when we talk about these new details that we have been given. We did speak with the supervisor over that area. We spoke with Supervisor Aaron Peskin. Hear what he had to say.
San Francisco is actually safer today than it was in 2019. I am delighted that the San Francisco Police Department had made an arrest.
Yeah,
will be known in the hours ahead.
Let's show the crime statistics. Oh, wait, they won't show you the crime.
It certainly appears at this point that this was not random.
Safer today than it was in 2019. Sure.
Yeah, all right. So you could hear him just speaking also just as we've been talking about the narrative shifting here. Liz, Ryan, another question that we have heard other people asking as well is what was the motive behind this stabbing? That is something that we are hoping to get answered really in the next 30 minutes or so.
This is the perfect product for me.
All right. So I wanted to let you all know there has been arrest in Bob Lee's stabbing death. And, hopefully there's justice served in that case. Let's see. I just want to see something. Just curious here. Hang on one second. Let's just take a look. Let's look at something. Let's take a look. I'm probably not going to be able to find it, but I'm sure that you all know what I'm looking for. I'm trying to find some statistical data, and let's see if we can call this guy out as a liar.
Steven.
Hang on here. Yeah, I'm not going to find anything. They're going to hide it. All right, let's see. Yeah, of course. The article that I want. Oh, wait, I might be able to look at it here. They're going to block me. The article I want to see. Arrest in Bob Lee killing contradicts critics San Francisco crime narrative. So there is an article on San Francisco Chronicle. It says San Francisco's violent crime rate was 544 incidents per 100,000, 20,000 to 22. The latest figures analyzed compared to other major cities by the FBI. I can't find crime rate statistics because they're going to hide them. Let's see. Crime. I want to see the years. That's what I want to see. Crime rate in 2020. Yeah. I'll have to look a little bit more into that. I don't want to waste too much more of my time on my program, but we all know that that statement is a lie. So, all right, let's do this. Today, I broke some news thanks to a loyal fan of the channel. Let's pull this up. We got some trouble with WSU, Pullman. We got some trouble, guys. Let's pull this up. The bodies are piling up. It's getting crazy there. All this activity that's going on. I'm not sure if you can see the article here, but let's read it really quick. Everybody's freaking out. There's a body found on WSU Pullman campus. Probable. It's just a suicide. It's probably going to be a suicide or a drug overdose. Let me read this really quick. Pullman, Washington. Law enforcement has said they believe the body of a man on the WSU campus is probably a suicide. The Whitman County Coroner's Office has not completed the investigation and has not confirmed the cause and the manner of death. At this time, we ask the public to give the family the time and space to grieve privately. No further updates will be provided at this time. There's a couple of updates here. We're going in reverse order here. 11 a.m. Police Chief Jenkins confirmed the dead man was a college-aged. The body was discovered near a fence line in a coppice of trees. He was unable to provide further details. And it says here, an investigation is underway in a Pullman after a dead body was discovered in Washington State University campus shortly after midnight on Thursday. According to the WS police officers responded to the call at Stephen Hall Complex around 12:30 a.m. on the 13th. A deceased man was found at the South Complex. So, not much to worry, not much to freak out. You know that we'll keep following this. And like I said, probable suicide. Probable suicide. Let's slow down. Slow down. I know tomorrow there's going to be 5,000 videos of this person on all the conspiracy channels. Brian Koberger snuck out of the Idaho jail and did this. We know. We have proof. We have the evidence, the video evidence. It's there. All right. Let's get on with tonight's program. Get on with tonight's program. Let me pull this up. Anthony Todt, this narcissistic scumbag. Holy shnikes. All right. If you're not familiar, Todt family murders. The Todt family murders was a multiple homicide case that occurred in December of 2019 in Disney's planned community of Celebration, Florida. Anthony Todt, or Tony, age 44, confessed to the murders of his wife, 42-year-old Megan Todt, and their 3 children, Alek, age 13, Tyler, age 11, and Zoe, age 4. Anthony was a physical therapist who recently been served a federal warrant for healthcare fraud charges stemming from physical therapy business. His physical therapy business. Authorities coming to issue the warrant found the man living in the house with the badly decomposed bodies of his entire family, including the family dog. In 2022, Todt was convicted of the murders and sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. In addition, a year was added for killing the pet dog, deemed an act of animal cruelty. So this narcissistic piece of trash decided that he was going to get up and have his heyday in court and testify on his own behalf. And it's probably some of the most cringiest fucking testimony I've ever seen in my entire life. Let's pull this up and go through this. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty fucking amazing. All right. I kind of forwarded right to when this piece of trash takes the stand, and let's play it out.
Standing, we're going to swear you in.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to enter in this case is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am. Ladies, thank you.
Please identify yourself.
My name is Anthony John Todt.
Oh,
what is your age?
I thought it was Todd. It's Tote.
46.
Mr. Todt, We've heard testimony about a woman named Megan Todt. Are you familiar with that person?
Yes.
It's my Boston accent.
And were you, in fact, married to Megan Todt?
Yes.
When did you first meet her?
It was high school of 1992.
And where was that?
In Montville, Connecticut. Sorry. Montville, Connecticut. Montville.
And did you and Ms. Todt, did you and Megan, we've used first names throughout the case, so I'll do it to not make it hard to remember. Did you become married or become a couple?
Yes.
Now, did you attend the university in the state of Connecticut?
Yes.
And where did you go to school?
Sacred Heart University in Fairfield, Connecticut.
Did Megan also become a student at Sacred Heart?
Yes, she was 2 years behind me.
What was your course of study?
Undergraduate work, a major in psychology with a concentration in health psychology. With a declared minor.
You all are going to love this one tonight. This guy is the most arrogant prick I've ever come across in my entire life. And if you want, you can go into the interrogation as well too. But this is the cream of the crop right here. Wait till you see the cringe that this guy causes on the witness stand.
Pre-physical therapy, and then I finished my master's degree of science in physical therapy.
Right. Now, did your wife, when did you marry Megan? Was it in college or later?
I had graduated from college already, and she was in her second to last year of college.
What field did she study?
She had the exact same credentials as myself, physical therapy.
Did you practice in the field of physical therapy?
Yes, sir.
And are you familiar with medical terms and medical procedures?
Most definitely, sir.
How long did you practice as a physical therapist?
I received my license in August of 1999 and was practicing up until the current.
Was Megan also involved in the practice with you?
In the practice of physical therapy, sir?
Yes.
Yes. She whereas I did more hospitalist, nursing care, home care, and outpatient, she concentrated most of her time as a pediatric specialist and did work sometime in.
Oh, will you pause it real quick?
Nursing homes when we traveled.
What were the circumstances that brought your family to Celebration?
Initially, my wife and I bought the condo in Celebration in July of 2005 when we were a traveling physical therapists, which means they put us around the country either to cover for what they call snowbird season or people got on maternity leave. They were generally minimum of 13-week assignments, and they could be extended. We first went out to California, wonderful time. Then we came down to Florida.
Pardon my rudeness. Pardon my rudeness. We have a celebration. We have a celebration here. We have a celebration.
Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing.
All right, let's get back to it. Thank you,
And
Aria.
found that since we sold our initial condo in Connecticut, we didn't have any deductions. So we bought the condo in Celebration as a partial investment and partially primary home, because part of our contract with our traveling company is they pay for our residence. So at the current time, they're paying for a rental. Why have the company pay for a rental when they can pay for your actual house and help with your mortgage payments? So we bought the condo in July 2005. Would you like me to continue?
All right. We have a new channel member. We need to hit the tone like always. Chris, thank you so much for becoming a member.
Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing.
All right. Thank you so much.
Let me ask one thing at this point. What was the status of Megan's health when you first met her?
When I first met Megan, sorry, I just needed to collect myself.
This guy, here it comes.
Megan had initially been diagnosed as a.
This is what this frigging guy does, and just like, oh, I just had to collect myself. Wait, it gets worse, and look at that face already. I just, so. All right.
Teen with Lyme disease, in which was, they say Lyme disease goes into remission. They say Lyme disease goes into just
100%
recesses and waits another day to invade, all depending on your immune system, all depending on what research shows and who you follow. She also was diagnosed right around middle school, right before I met her, with a heart issue. This heart issue they diagnosed as mitral valve prolapse and a murmur. They also diagnosed arrhythmias, at which time I found out after I started dating Megan in high school, because I asked her one time. We used to go out to dinner all the time. We used to, normal dating.
Ask your next question, Mr. Weston.
I'll try and ask you more questions that have a shorter answer.
I apologize, sir.
And then when you married Megan, what was the status of her health generally?
Generally, she was healthy. She avoided caffeine and she avoided sugars because of the heart issue previously mentioned.
And then, did there come a time when Megan began to have health problems?
Yeah.
And about when was the onset of that?
March 2011.
And what are the conditions that she experienced?
We were vacationing.
Here it comes.
I apologize.
Oh my God.
We were vacationing in Florida.
Oh, I apologize.
And we were at a theme park. And she got bit by a bug. She described this bug as a six-legged black bug with a red mark on the back that reminded her of the state of Texas. I didn't see the bug. It was at the end of the day, and this bug bite, which you would think was innocuous, turned into this just this yellow green. I can't even describe pustule. It was a gigantic whitehead. So we went home that night. I went home to the hotel, or it was a hotel at the time, because of the issue.
And about what, that was in 2011, you say?
March 2011, sir.
And then in the ensuing year, did Megan develop any other health complications?
Oh, yeah. Through
You are fake news.
many trips to the hospital, many trips to the ER, cardiac critical care units.
This guy is so cringy.
She was diagnosed with a multitude of diagnoses, I guess you want to say. First of which was they found that she had drug-induced hepatitis. Sorry. First, I apologize. Let me back up. They diagnosed her with tonsillar cellulitis.
You are fake
She had
news.
these gigantic white pustules on her tonsils. Her lymph node was just totally enlarged, in trouble breathing. In subsequent visits to the ER, subsequent visits to the doctors, they found that she acquired, through the medical aspect, what's called drug-induced hepatitis.
No worries.
So her liver became inflamed, very much so, that
yeah. This guy is so cringy.
it was malfunctioning,
You are fake news.
to put it lightly. Her eyes were, at one point, the color of the most fluorescent yellow highlighter you ever seen in your life.
Jeez.
I swear her eyes could.
Mr. Todt?
Yes.
Did there come a time then at that occasion when she had the hepatitis that it affected her lifestyle or what she could do?
Yeah,
Most
man.
definitely. My wife
Oh, this guy is so cringy.
She was a yoga teacher, in addition to physical therapist.
Oh my God.
She went from a very strong, vibrant woman to barely holding on to 90 pounds.
You are fake news.
She couldn't keep weight on. She couldn't breathe. Her heart rate progressively was going crazy.
Liar.
At rest, it would be 190 or above.
Liar.
Steven.
EKGs, all that kind of stuff. Saw her throwing atrial fibrillations,
Guys.
PVCs, which it's basically your heart operates in a synchronous motion. Okay?
You are fake
Valves
news.
pump on rhythm.
Yeah,
Her valves
it's cold.
and not valves, her chambers were beating all irregular. It was basically, you take four wheels of a car.
Objection, Your Honor, lack of medical knowledge.
It's the narratives.
Mr. Todt, have you, what medical training have you received in conjunction with the physical therapy?
I appreciate you asking me that, sir. 20 years of medical experience working in the hospital, case review charts, home care, meaning that not only was I operating under a nurse or with a nurse individually at a house, I was also opening cases on my own, which means I received medical information, medical records from the doctors and from the hospital themselves to be interpreted, to be reviewed, and to be deciphered so that I can properly give the appropriate care within their medical limits to the patient.
Liar.
Thank you for that background. Now, as
Liar.
your wife continued with her health issues, what was her attitude or outlook or demeanor?
Steven.
Her demeanor went from a very vibrant young woman in which literally we were best friends. As dating, we always knew we would remain best friends. That's how close we were. We dated for 8 years before we were married. Her family was my family. Okay? Her grandparents were my grandparents.
Oh my God.
That's how
so
close we were.
cringy.
Okay? She went from, even though she remained the light of my life, whenever she walked into a room, literally, after almost 20 years of marriage, my stomach would have those butterflies in it, seeing my wife. I existed, but she went from...
Liar. Ask the question again, Mr. Wilson.
Liar.
Let me,
You
now,
are
at
fake
that point
news.
in time, did you have children?
At the time she got
Fade in on the Okta Customer Identity Cloud, one of the world's most powerful.
sick, sir?
You are fake
At what
news.
point in time, sir?
When we're talking about this period in her life, when she had gone, when she was less vibrant or less
Yeah.
her demeanor changed.
Before she got sick, we were blessed with two wonderful boys.
Oh, that I
Okay?
murdered.
She went from a mom who provided for everything,
Oh.
including myself. I consider myself a third kid.
Liar.
Okay? To a person who could barely walk stairs on certain days. We hired, with the help
Tommy.
and the assistance of our family, we hired I guess you want to say a mother's helper, okay? In which to come in, help bring the kids to school, which is something my wife,
What I'm going to ask you to do is to try and I'll try and correct you so that we don't have long extensions, so it's easier for everyone to understand what we're talking about.
I apologize, sir. It's been 2 years since I've been able to tell my story. I appreciate you
Oh, this
working with you.
guy's so cringy, dude.
Do you, you and Megan attended Sacred Heart, which was a Roman Catholic university, is that true?
That's the debate. It's Roman Catholic by name, but it was considered Jesuit run, which I don't know where the derivation between those two run.
Liar.
But were you raised in the Catholic Church?
I was raised in the Roman Catholic Church and continue to practice as such, sir.
Do you know whether Megan was raised in the Roman Catholic Church?
Megan was raised in the Roman Catholic Church. However, before she went to college, her and her mother and father did shy away from it, but she did get confirmed before we got married.
Come on, man.
As you progressed as a family, did Megan seek other religious experiences?
Most definitely, sir.
Come on, man.
And what was the reason for that?
When she got sick, we were under the model of traditional med. That's what we were trained. Medicine helps. Progression of her disease process, we went more alternative, or she went more alternative, I should say, because we were told to stay away from medications. Alternatives were not working. Through her yoga practice and her yoga certification, she got introduced to, I guess you want to say, an Eastern religion, Hindu and based. I always thought it was Buddhist, but it was actually Hindu. And she shied away from the Roman Catholic Church, and her progression of her religion through that religion and her following also took over her medical outlook and her medical treatment of herself as she shied away from unsuccessful medical interventions.
Around that time, was there a calamitous event in the life of Megan's parents?
Oh God, this guy's so
before.
Cool. Oh my God!
Come on, man! Birth of my first son in November of 2002.
Oh my God!
Her father hung himself
because he probably had to deal with you.
She was very close with her father. She was not close with her mom. I was very close with her father. He was he was one of my good friends. One of the few males I trusted.
And slept with their corpses.
One of the things I totally
in the house
enjoyed about the relationship with her and her family was her relationship with her father. She was that close with him.
Right, sir. And then also, along with having 3 children yourself with Megan
and the family dog,
she suffered miscarriages. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Did that also affect her approach towards her health or approach towards how she carried on day to day?
The first miscarriage happened when she first got bit by that bug.
Yeah, by you.
And before the whole progression of the disease and the process under it. There was, of course, depression and that kind of stuff for losing baby.
2019.
And then in the fall of 2019, September actually, we were blessed. We found out that a simple weekend away, we conceived. And she went from being depressed to very happy, dancing, singing.
Liar.
Something that I hadn't seen in forever.
Liar.
And we lost the baby.
Stephen.
And it affected her big time. And obviously affected me, but
come on, man.
She went from that singing, humming, dancing person to not to days that she didn't even get out of bed.
He's so cringy.
What was the religious group that she had migrated towards, the Eastern religion? Did you ever attend their services with your wife? Or
I was very supportive of my wife. I did not understand, nor did I follow this religious aspect. I was Roman Catholic. The way I was raised in a military family. My stepfather was a very proud military man.
Liar.
I was taught respect.
Come on, man. Get your question, Mr.
The question that was asked was, let me ask an entirely different question so no confusion. I want to make sure I tie up some loose ends. You mentioned Lyme disease, and that's somewhat prevalent in New England. Is that correct?
This guy's voice is very nasally. It's very nasally.
Seems like everybody has Lyme disease, yes.
And that is transmitted by insects, bugs.
I told you it was going to be cringy.
That is correct.
All right. And then what was the
worse.
effects on that on your wife that you noticed?
When the Lyme disease became apparent and positive, she had breathing problems, heart rate problems.
Shop smart and save up to 30% on quality furniture at Raymore and Flanagan. Hey.
Chronic pains when she had what was called exacerbations. So
I lived in East Lyme, Connecticut for like 2 years. Back in the
without
day.
getting too technical, your immune system is the best thing to keep any disease at bay. So whenever she didn't feel well, got sick, the Lyme would become more prevalent. So when the Lyme became more prevalent, not only did she have joint aches, she had feelings of hopelessness, depression, not wanting to go on certain days. There were some days where I helped her shave her legs because she couldn't bend over. She was in so much pain or couldn't breathe.
Mr. Todt, did your wife seek a different way to health through the Eastern religion?
Stephen.
Yes, she did, sir.
And was it diet-based or worship-based? Or what were the parts that appealed to her? What was she seeking?
She was seeking control over her own medical care. Basically, anybody in a chronic illness wants some kind of control of their own self. She went from traditional medicine. She went to religious following of dictating what her healthcare was. She even followed a book from a guy who listened to a ghost who had no medical experience to tell her what she should be doing, what she should be eating, and that kind of stuff, called the medical medium.
Was there any discussion within that religious group about an afterlife?
Yes. This religious group could be conducted mostly by Skype or whatever video thing was at the time. I think it was Skype.
Objection, hearsay.
No.
But the means of technology. Thank you.
I would sit with her during some of these meetings. They would give her prayers to pray, whether to help with what they were talking about with what was called family lineage karma burning. Because as in the Bible, Roman Catholic, the same thing she followed was the fact that your past, your past family's transgressions follow forward multiple generations. So as you asked, please repeat your question just so I can make sure I repeat correctly.
Was there an afterlife component of this religious practice?
Yes, there was an afterlife component in which each afterlife, she believed that there was reincarnation. And as they burned the family karma in the current life, they reached a salvation in which they were reincarnated to a better life.
Come on, man.
And was her desire to seek better health through this process by going into another life?
Better health and better relationships with people who had abused her and had verbally and otherwise affected her in her life.
You are fake news.
There was some discussion about
Look at this guy.
Suicide note.
He's so cringy.
And that was apparently directed from Detective Cole Miller to Dr. Nara. Were you aware of any suicide note?
When I came back to the house that day,
you are fake news.
She showed it to me. Yes. But I had no knowledge of it before I came home that day.
There's no tears.
What was her demeanor or attitude at that time?
There's zero tears.
She was trying to explain to me what she did. She was trying to make me understand. It was the whole aspect of it was she was trying to present this as fact. And I was telling her, I don't believe that. I can't believe I called her some names, which I never called her before in my life. But the whole demeanor of it was, this is what I've been told. through my meditations. This is what I believe. This is what, as she referred to as, the light has provided for her, and the light.
Come on, man.
Talking about your own demeanor and how your countenance.
My own demeanor, when I found out what happened, I puked. I cried. I was in total denial of what happened. I couldn't understand. And then after that, I was like, I want to get you help. I'll take responsibility for this. Just get help. That's all I wanted. I would do anything in my life to do what she needed, provide for what she needed, provide her a happy life. I held my wife on a pedestal. I didn't care anything to myself. I wanted her to have a good life, period. And I wanted her to get help. I didn't care.
We'll try and work on shorter sentences so that everyone can keep up, and I'll be.
My apologies, sir.
We're fine. Have you progressed from talking about the afterlife to talking about what happened to your children and your wife?
I don't understand what you mean, sir.
When you said what had happened with Megan, what were you talking about?
What had happened that day when I came home?
Which day?
I don't know.
You don't have to talk about calendar date. What was the occurrence that made that day memorable?
I came home and my kids were dead. It was the most.
So now I'll give you a little insight here. His defense now is that he's going to come in and say that his wife killed the kids and that he had to kill his wife because she was in so much pain and because of what she did. So here comes all that cringiness.
Horrible day of my life. And what I mean more horrible is my wife died in front of me also.
Because you killed her.
Had there been a blueberry pie that was cooked in the house?
Oh,
according to what she told me.
Oh, I hate this part. A Chris Crumb cake, a Chris Crumb crust.
Me?
Ready? A Chris Crumb cake.
Objection hearsay.
Just a sec, Mr. Tote. Response.
A Chris Crumb cake.
Describe what.
Cashback is good, but double cashback is even better.
You know or saw and not what you heard from another person, if you can.
Thank you, sir. When I came home that morning, I knew my family the night before was having dessert, and I declined it because you saw my health.
Here it comes. The Chris Crumb.
I was jogging and losing weight. I came home that morning, and there was a melted
Chris Crumb cake.
Purple, looked like a pudding pie. I can't really tell you exactly what it was. She told me what it was later, but it was in a graham cracker crust.
Oh, graham
and
cracker crust.
The kitchen, it was my job to clean the kitchen. But when I came home, that purple, bluish, grapish, melted pie, I guess you want to say, the pie dish was sitting there on the counter with some residue on the kids, that the kids places on their plates.
At that time, you came in, you saw that there were desserts that had been served up on the table.
Chris Crumb cake.
I saw the remnants of it, yes.
Crumb cake.
And then did you then discover that your children were dead?
Not initially, no. I had gone upstairs. Well, I had too much information, but I had to pee. So I went to the bathroom and came out, and my wife was at the top of the stairs. My house was very quiet.
Graham cracker crust.
Very unnormal having 3 kids. One 13, one 10 at the time, the other one 4 years old. She brought me in the room. I had been feeling nauseous that morning anyways, because I had these shakes I was taking for weight loss, all that. And around the same time that she was telling me I was puking. It was then that I understood what had transpired. She had blood on her shirt. And after that, after I said a few uncolored words to her, I then discovered the kid.
This guy is so narcissistic. He's just trying to make him seem like such the good guy. Like, oh, he won't say like a swear word. He excuses himself all the time. It's so fucking cringy.
Kids, I went into the rooms and found them dead.
No, you killed them.
You saw the video yesterday where on the 15th, Cole Miller and another investigator in a tiny room talked to you at length. Did you have an agenda for that discussion?
I don't even remember that day. Last thing I remember was falling down the stairs and smacking my head on the stairs, which I resulted in a fracture in my neck. Next thing I knew, I woke up here. And seeing that video yesterday, that was the first time I saw that video. I had no agenda consciously, but I can tell you throughout my relationship with my wife, especially after she got sick, I would put myself as a forefront and take responsibility and protect my wife.
You said in the statement that you stabbed the children and there was blood everywhere. Do you remember that from yesterday's video?
I remember it just seeing on yesterday's video. I wasn't aware of anything I said till about June. So maybe June or July, 6 months after I got here, when I got the transcript of what I said that day.
Why did you say that you performed the incisions on the bellies of the children?
It goes back to the aspect is I was covering for my wife. Obviously, unsuccessfully, because as you saw by the video, compared to what they said, I had no clue had my kids died.
This guy's such a liar.
Did you have ideas of joining your family in the afterlife?
After I saw everybody die, after I saw my wife die and saw my kids, most definitely. I wanted to be with them. That's the only thing I wanted to be. I didn't care by what means. I didn't care by what anything. I sliced my wrist. I took multiple doses of Benadryl. I tried to hang myself several times. I bought a pellet gun to shoot myself because I couldn't get a gun to, as you call it, eat a gun.
Did you ever try to poison yourself?
With Benadryl, yes. Wow. And also, I was just under recently of medical care, and I was given metformin for diabetes. And at one point, I swallowed the whole bottle of metformin.
No, this is his defense testimony.
I think there was evidence that you remained in the house for up to 3 weeks after the day that changed your family's entire future. During that time, how many attempts did you make to take your own life?
Yeah,
I would have to go through them to count because in my head I can't count them. Do you mind if I tell you?
Oh God.
Can we close your eyes for about 15 minutes about 15 seconds and try and formulate the answer?
Come on, man.
Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing.
On conscious recollection, I can tell you I remember at least 8 times. However, since being here and through other diagnostic testing, I found out there were additional times. So 10 times, at least.
And was Benadryl the primary agent that you were trying to use?
Benadryl was one of the agents. There was also a knife I picked up.
Ooh.
I saw my wife stab herself. How hard could it be to stab yourself?
Ball dry.
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
Oh.
You see a knife with a blade like this, and you want to instill that into your body? No way. I chickened out. Yes. I tried other means. I tried at least 3 episodes of Benadryl.
And did you not keep it down or vomit or what happened?
Benadryl, as you know, can make you sleepy. Okay?
Now, keep in mind, he's looking at the jury right now. This guy is such a piece of trash. He's so narcissistic. He's addressing the jury.
The first time I took it, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no plan of this. I just wanted to be with my family. I woke up, I don't know when, how long. Obviously, I didn't take enough. Next time, I took a whole bunch of, the wall dry. I remember that distinctly because that stuff tastes horribly. But the children's was just no different. It's just a better flavor. I took, I think it was equivalent of 5 glasses about this tall I had prepared. Okay? I fell asleep before I finished it entirely. The last thing of Benadryl, which I took when going back and looking at the dates and whatever, it turned out the day before that they came to my house. I saw the aspect of the 12th on one of the phones. At that time, I took over 200 pills of Benadryl. Now, mind you, a normal dose of Benadryl is 2 pills. And I took 2 family-size liquid Benadryls. In order to stay awake, and also because I was feeling nauseous, I took a Mountain Dew and an energy drink. The energy drink to keep me up because I kept falling asleep, and the Mountain Dew so that I wouldn't throw this stuff up. I wanted this stuff in my system. I was so frustrated I couldn't kill myself.
Am I punking you? How am I punking you?
In the crime scene photographs that were shown to the jury, there was a Huffy bicycle in a box.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And were you prepared to assemble that bike?
God, my babies. That was to be a Christmas present to my daughter.
That you killed.
I hadn't picked up the boys' bikes yet because the boys were some of my best friends, and I could never say. I went over there that night to
ask your next question, Mr. Wesley.
Did you open the box? Did you assemble the bike?
I never made it there to assemble the bike. That's where I went that night, to assemble that bike.
He's addressing the jury.
There were also numerous Christmas gifts, wrapped Christmas gifts that were shown in either the photographs or in the inventory that's collected.
Miniature.
Did you and your wife buy gifts and have gifts ready for Christmas for your children?
It'd be great if he did. His family would still be alive.
Some of those gifts were ours. New bed set. Not bed set, I apologize.
Oh, it gets worse. Don't worry.
Duvet cover and sheets and all that kind of stuff the boys picked up. There was even a dollhouse that we picked up for my daughter. It was her first dollhouse. And there was also presents there from the family that had been sent down, yes.
Mr. Tote, what could have prohibited Megan from killing your children?
I have no idea.
Like I said, he is pinning the children's deaths on his wife. And then he's going to turn around and say, I had to kill her because of this. I think he went into like a religious thing or something like that. We'll see here.
We woke up that morning. She was pain-free. Everything was good. I took the opportunity to try to go over and put the bike together. I had no knowledge of this. I don't know what could have prevented it. I have no idea. And that's the biggest thing that affects me is the fact that I didn't even see this coming. They say, blindsided. This was a blindside by like a Mack truck filled with dynamite. Sorry. I'm sorry.
This guy is so cringy.
Tissue or something.
Oh my God.
Deputies.
This guy is a piece of trash. It's so fake, bro.
You are fake news.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Oh my God.
Do you mind if I turn around real quick?
Oh my God.
Can I turn around?
The cringe level is 1,000% right now.
Sorry.
Do you remember the religious groups sending messages and having, I guess, prayer or singing sessions in Megan's memory and, information back?
I really do not understand that question, sir. I apologize.
Was the person who was thought to be the leader of this Indian or Eastern Indian religious group called Gari?
That was one of them, yes. That was the primary one, yes.
And they had individual contact with Megan, would leave messages for Megan and contact her?
Yeah, contacts would be via phone, via, like I said, the Skype computer thing, FaceTimed sometimes.
And did they contact you or give you information that Megan had crossed over?
They didn't tell me directly. They had contacted my sister, and my sister told me that she had a conversation that Megan was at rest and she crossed over. I don't know where that, I don't understand it. But to hold it in my heart, she crossed over and she's at peace and not suffering. That's all I can hope for.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online.
Mr. Tote, did you kill your family?
No.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Now you're going to get
Mr. Wesley.
You're going to get the prosecution that's going to be able to come back and cross-examine. And you're going to, this prosecutor is awesome. She really gets him heated. Just, this gets really good.
Now cross-examination.
Yes. You are fake news.
Steven.
In December of 2019, what was Megan's medical conditions?
Megan's medical conditions consisted of neck pain, back pain, hypothyroidism, Lyme disease, heart rate issues, breathing issues.
And did all of these medical issues make her frail?
Frail is a very subjective term. Can you please be more?
And you're gonna see this battle. This is really good. I'm sorry they keep stopping it, but this is really good. You're gonna see this back and forth battle right now. You can feel it. This is really, really good drama.
Sure. Did all of Megan's medical conditions make it hard for her to engage in everyday living?
Yes.
Did Megan's medical condition make it hard for her to walk?
At times, yes, but she hit it very well.
So going back to the date that you remember coming
exactly.
home
He's going to get
to your
defensive
family
very,
being
very quickly.
gone, How was Megan walking that day?
She was walking fine. She had woken up pain-free the day before.
See, it's already starting. Look.
Because she had told me that the light had interceded and the light had enabled her to do so.
Okay, so she was walking around fine.
Correct.
And did she complain to you at all about, you said she was pain-free, so she didn't have to take any medication?
She was on a whole list of herbal stuff, some of which I have no idea what she was taking. Plus she took this whole diet thing in which she would boil these mushrooms, in which she would do whole sorts of, there's so many things she would do.
Okay, so she was engaging in holistic practices.
Holistic and religious and spiritual practice, that's correct.
Okay. And you said that Megan had gotten diagnosed with Lyme disease as a teen.
That was her initial diagnosis, that's correct. And she had exacerbations. Like I had told you before, the diagnosis.
My question was a yes or no question. Let me ask my next question.
Well, allow me to elaborate.
My question was a yes or no question.
That's fine. Thank you, ma'am.
After she was diagnosed, or you were told she was diagnosed with Lyme disease, how long was it before she experienced symptoms?
Which time?
The first time.
I didn't know her when she initially got diagnosed with Lyme. She initially got diagnosed the first time when I was in 2011 and went through exacerbations, up and down cycles, all depending on her condition of her health, condition of her physically, condition of her mentally, condition of her stress-wise, condition of her emotionally.
And did she get diagnosed with Lyme disease as a teen or in 2011?
Like I explained before, I guess you want to say the jury is out of whether or not you have Lyme disease or Lyme exacerbations coming back and forth.
Okay.
She got diagnosed initially.
I don't have any other questions.
Allow me to finish, ma'am.
I don't have any other questions about that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Look at, he's so pissed.
Is it your testimony that
Oh my God.
from
Look at this.
2011 until
so
December of
cringy.
2019, Megan was suffering?
From 2011 to
Yes.
2019?
Yes.
Off and on, yes. But she consistently had all the breathing issues, the pain, and the heart rate issues, all depending on how bad they were and how bad they were affecting her to the day.
Prior to the day of the deaths, had Megan been suffering?
Most definitely.
When was the most recent time that she had been suffering?
Like I told you, I woke up that morning. All of a sudden, she was pain-free. The night before, I had worked on her. I had worked on her continuously every day for over a year after she weaned from Zoe. Before she went to bed, when she woke up in the morning, to help with her pain so that we can get her to the regular doctors. She had a doctor's visit scheduled for the Thursday after Thanksgiving. Forgive me, I do not have the date, in which she canceled because she had said, there's no hope. There's nothing more that can be done.
Okay. So what kind of work did you do for Megan?
Did myofascial release, craniosacral, any type of relaxations that, my apologies, ma'am.
Oh.
Manual therapy in which I was trained under. Different things I would go to school for or continuing ed for to help treat her. Stuff I've read about, stuff I've gone through, everything within my scope of practice.
I'm asking you what you specifically did. So if you were
I'm telling
going
you
to
what I did.
treat her,
Yep,
what were the different things that you did?
that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Okay? There's no cookbook recipe in physical therapy. It's treating her ailments and treating her pains.
Okay,
So
so you
whether
did
or not her liver was inflamed, I did myofascial release to help release the liver. She had digestive problems. I would do integrated manual therapy to help with those digestive problems. She had neck pain. I helped with her neck pain. She had relaxation issues and stress issues and heart rate issues and vagus nerve issues. I would help her desensitize that through craniosacral therapy. I would do anything she needed to get done to help her get better, to help her progress in her life.
When was the mother helpers hired?
The mother's helper hired was initially after Tyler was born to help here and there to bring the kids, bring my oldest son to C school. So that would have been 2010-ish, 2011-ish, but she was upped to more after she got sick to help provide through the assistance of her aunt, who helped finance her, and ourselves.
Okay. At what point was the mother's helper no longer necessary?
It was no longer never necessary. She had moved on to another career. We got another nanny, worker, that kind of stuff, which Megan and her did not get along with. Then she decided that warm weather was better, so she came down here. In many pleas to help get somebody else, we got a babysitter in which you want to know the whole truth. I'm telling you the whole truth.
My question, at what point did you not have assisted help?
This is the perfect product for me.
Makes me feel so good.
I sleep better.
My energy.
What point?
In year.
After year, let's see, we moved down here in 2014.
So
No, I apologize. Nope. Full-time was after Zoe, so full-time was 2016 she came down here. After that, we had no help because she fired the babysitter that we had.
Okay. So was Megan the caregiver for the children during the week?
Through those couple days that I was away, yes.
And you mentioned the couple days that you were away. You still had a practice up in Connecticut at the time,
We
right?
had a practice in Connecticut, that's correct.
And isn't it correct that you would travel during the week up to Connecticut?
That's correct, as long as my wife's issues and my wife's health dictated such. There were times in which I would literally land and I would get a phone call from my son or my wife that things are bad, and I'd hop on the first flight back.
Did that happen often?
It happened quite a bit.
And when you say things were bad, is this mentally, physically, what are you talking about?
All the above, from the miscarriage and bleeding to the fact of her ripping the shelves off the wall and my boy was scared, to her breaking the dishes, to her not being able to get out of bed. And then as things progressed and I found that my older son was preparing a lot more meals, before I would leave for the couple days I was gone, I would make sure that
Attention, non-responsive.
Ask your next question.
You are you indicated you're a practicing Roman Catholic.
I am a practiced Roman Catholic trying to find, I'm a Christian base and migrated to more Christian base. However, I'm trying to find a church that suited me because Roman Catholic law did not.
Isn't it true that during your interview with Detective Miller, you indicated to Detective Miller that you were a forced Catholic?
Growing up, I was.
And at what point in time did Megan, and I'm asking for a year and a month, if you know, at what point in time did Megan begin seeking other religion alternatives?
In what regards, in what capacity do you speak of, ma'am?
You indicated that she initially was Catholic with you, and that she sought other religious alternatives.
Well,
when did she do that?
Let me correct your chronology, if I may. She came back and got confirmed because we were going to get married in a Catholic church. She was not a practicing Catholic at the time, except for going here and there and practicing Easter. Okay? When she got her yoga certification, she got introduced to this new gallery through one of the things. That was in...
When?
That was in 2009. After she got sick in 2011, she progressed 2012, 2013 to Gallery and Mirabai.
You said 2012 and 13?
Correct, after she got sick.
When did you become aware?
When did I become aware of what?
That Megan was going towards this alternate religion.
When she told me. Initially, she would share her yoga certifications and her courses. And then in 2012, 2013, she would have me sit in on her teleconferences or whatever you want to call them. And I saw her progressing further and further away from medical towards the spiritual aspect.
Okay.
Excuse me for 1 second.
Oh my God, guys, so cringy.
Going to the day that this happened, that you said you came home, where were you coming home from?
I had decided with my wife's conversation the night before that I would take the opportunity to go over, do some maintenance issues of the condo, and to put together my daughter's bike.
Okay, so did you leave the night before or in the morning?
The night before the morning of what, ma'am?
When you came home and said you found your children dead?
I left the night before, after dinner.
When?
After dinner.
What time?
Ma'am, I was on vacation. I don't know the time. I can tell you it was after dinner time because we sat there and I had my shake prepared and helped leftovers. I had gone over there and realized that my kids did not put the tools in my van, so I walked back and played basketball with them for a couple hours.
Okay, so did you finish dinner first?
I didn't eat dinner. My kids finished dinner, yes.
Did your children finish their entire dinner before you left?
They finished the dinner that was provided with them. I don't know if they ate afterwards.
Did you said it was your job to clean the kitchen. Did you clean the kitchen?
No.
So
leftovers, we throw stuff away. There's nothing to clean.
Okay, so you didn't clean any. I don't understand what your job is to clean the kitchen. If you didn't have
Pots, pans, that kind of stuff. Nothing was there because we didn't cook. We had leftovers.
Okay.
We had, what's it called? Hummus toast.
Okay.
They had hummus toast.
And you said you weren't hungry. Or you
I had a shake. I wasn't going to eat at the time. No.
Okay. And did Megan eat?
You know, I don't know.
And did you have one vehicle or two vehicles in Florida?
In Florida, one.
One. And that was the red van?
Yes.
And how long after dinner did you go over to the condo?
After dinner, it's hard to say. 30, 45 minutes after everything was completed. I was like, I'm going to sleep out. I took the van over because I was preparing to bring more stuff back from the condo to the house, kids' toys and that kind of stuff.
What kind of stuff did you have at the condo?
We have a whole second residence there. The kids' toys, my daughter's, there's a bunch of blocks. The kids wanted some of their books, some of their stuffed animals, some of that. Enough stuff I wasn't going to carry, so I was going to put it in the van.
When you moved to 202 Reserve Place, what did you take with you from the condo?
What did we take with the condo? Clothes.
Is that it?
Maybe some dishware.
And how long had you bought the condo in 2005, right?
That's correct.
When did it become fully furnished?
The condo?
Yes.
Let's see, we bought it in July 2005, maybe August. No, I apologize. There was a renter in there, so October 2005.
Save big and sleep better with a new mattress from Raymore & Flanigan. Get incredible savings on top.
Okay, so in October 2005, you fully furnished the condo.
The condo, that's correct.
Did you ever live there full time?
What do you mean?
Did you ever live at the condo full time?
My wife and I lived in the condo from October 2005, thereabouts, until July 2006, when we moved up to have my son in Connecticut, in which we bought that house up there and rented the condo out.
Okay, did you ever move back into the condo?
Yes.
When?
Full time, as in after selling the house. I think we sold the house in 2017 or 2018 in Connecticut. So my wife had started snowbirding. I want to say 2014, 2015, and she made it permanent in 2016 or 17.
During the time that you rented the condo, did you leave it fully furnished or did you have renters furnish it?
We had renters furnish it. I moved all that stuff back up to Connecticut.
And on the night after dinner, is it your testimony that you got in the van and drove over to the condo?
Yes.
And the condo really wasn't that far from 202 Reserve Place, right?
No, because of one-way streets and all that, it took me 5 minutes.
Okay. So you get to the condo. What do you do when you get there?
I go in the back of the car to get my tool bag out that I asked the boys to put in. Realized it wasn't there, so I walked back.
Did you ever make it up to the condo?
No.
Okay. And you tested. So what do you do with the van?
Left it there because I walked back to get the tool bag, in which I looked at the boys. I'm like, did you guys forget something? And they looked under the basketball hoop and they're like, oh, the van was locked. The tools are there. So we wrestled a little bit and they asked me to play basketball. I had a friend who always told me to take every opportunity to play with the kids because you never know when they're not going to play with you. So we played basketball for a while. We played horse. We played a whole bunch of basketball games.
For how long?
Ma'am, you're asking me, I don't know, sunlight's up longer here, hour and a half, I don't know.
Was it still sunny out when you left?
It was sun in the sky. I can't tell you what capacity. It was still light outside.
Okay. About what time did you usually eat dinner?
It depended on what activities there were. That night, probably about 5-ish, 5:30. Some nights at 8, some nights at 7. It all depended.
Okay. Is it fair to say that the kids probably ate between 5 and 8?
It could have been 4:30. It could have been 4. All depended on activity. If they ate early, we had a later night snack.
Okay. So what happens after you play basketball?
I'll check.
I told the boys it was getting late. Megan had told me that she wanted to go to bed early that night because everybody had just gotten over the stomach bug and didn't want to be sick for Christmas.
Okay.
So I said, go into your mom. I'm going. Good night. I'm going over. Just remind mommy I won't be home. I'll either be sleeping in the condo or the, what's it called? The studio apartment above the garage because I was a bull in a china closet. You saw how big I was over the clutch.
Did you often not sleep at home with your wife?
Yeah, when I traveled to Connecticut.
What about when you weren't in Connecticut?
Most of the time I slept with my wife. That night I said I would take the opportunity to go put together my bike, or my daughter's bike, fix the door, garbage disposal, run bleach down the air conditioner, normal maintenance stuff. And she didn't want me waking her up.
Okay. So how do you get back to the condo?
I walk.
And what tools do you bring with you?
It was a tool bag full of what they call socket wrenches, screwdrivers, a gross array of all tools. I had a utility bag.
Okay. So you carry the utility bag and you walk over to the condo, right?
I walk over to the van. That's correct.
So you walk to the van? Yeah. What do you do with the van?
I realized the phone, when I realized it wasn't the phone, it was an iPod that was lacking in the charge. So I went in, knowing I didn't have a charger up in the condo. I had a car charger. So I sat in there, decided to take a rest because I was exhausted as I charged the phone.
Okay. So how long are you in the van?
I fell asleep.
What kind of phone charger did you have in the van?
It's a plug into the, what's it called? Cigarette lighter thing.
Did you have a phone charger back at 202 Reserve Place?
Oh yeah, that's where they all were.
Okay. So how long are you sleeping in the van?
I woke up by the sunshine the next morning.
So you slept the entire night in the van?
I'm sure I woke up at one point or another and went back to sleep. It was not uncurrent. I used to fall asleep in the pickup line to pick up my kids at school.
Okay, so did you sleep in the front seat, the passenger
Front driver's seat?
Front driver's seat, okay. Did you ever go inside the condo?
Nope, never made it up there. Because I woke up and realized the sun was up, so obviously it was later than the 4 o'clock I usually woke up to treat my wife. And I didn't want to be in the doghouse, but with her waking up and being in pain and me not being there and not being able to provide for her.
Okay, so what time did you wake up?
Sunlight was up. What time sunrise in Florida?
So do you drive back to 202 Reserve Place or do you walk?
I walked.
Okay, so why did you drive over to Longview Avenue in the first place then?
As I repeated the first, which was already said, I was bringing stuff back from the condo that were of my kids that they wanted back. Obviously, I'm not going to carry a whole bag of whatever in my hands. So I brought the van to load in all the blocks, load in some of the kids' their Lego toys, bring back some of the stuffed animals.
Okay. So you get back and now it's daylight.
The sun is up, yes.
And which door of the house you go into?
Back door.
So you go in the back door and what do?
Go to pee. After I walked through the kitchen and saw the remnants of everything.
Okay. So you see everything still on the table. You pass the bathroom to go upstairs, right?
No, I went to the bathroom downstairs.
Okay. I thought earlier you testified that you went upstairs to go to
After
the
I went to the bathroom. What I testified was I went to the bathroom, then went upstairs to meet my wife.
Okay. So at what point did she come to the top of the stairs then?
When I came out of the bathroom downstairs, she must have heard motion. She was at the top of the stairs.
Okay. So were the doors to the library open or closed?
Don't know. Didn't see him.
Is the library not close to the stairs?
The library is past the stairs. That's correct. But when you have to pee, you have to pee.
Well, you're standing at the bottom of the stairs looking up at Megan at the stairs. You can't see the doors to the library?
Ma'am, can you see that gentleman back there?
Mike, you don't ask me questions. I ask you questions.
Ooh.
Oh, will you pause
It's gonna get hot right now. It's gonna get hot.
Can you see the door to the library when you're standing at the stairs looking up at Megan?
No.
Okay. And you're engaging with Megan, and what is Megan's demeanor? Not what she says, what is she doing and how is she appear to you?
She's standing at the top of the stairs. She has tears in her eyes and said, "You're alive."
Okay. And what is she wearing?
She's wearing my gray HydroWorks shirt, which is something she usually slept in. And she's wearing some kind of pants of some sort. She had clothes on.
And did she have any injuries at that point?
Ma'am, she was standing there. She was fine. I don't know. I hugged her, kissed her, told her, "I'm sorry I'm late."
Okay, so what happens next?
I go into the bedroom because I wasn't feeling well and she wanted to talk to me in the bedroom.
Okay. And what happens next?
We start communicating. And like I said, when I woke up, I felt nauseous anyways. And I don't know if it was because of the nauseous I woke up with or what she was telling me. I puked.
Okay. And so are you in the master bathroom?
That's correct.
And where's Megan?
You know, she's somewhere behind me.
So you don't know?
She's talking within voice distance. I can't tell if she's this distance away or she's this distance away.
Is she in the bathroom?
Like I said, I can't tell. You're asking me specific. She's in the room someplace.
So if you don't know, your answer is I don't know. Do you know if Megan's in the bathroom?
I do not know if the Megan's in the bathroom.
Okay. But Megan is talking to you.
That's correct.
And after you're done in the bathroom, where do you go?
Do you want the whole chain of events or do you want?
Which room of the house do you go into after you leave the bathroom?
So I go into my master bedroom, then walk through the door into the hallway and walk into Zoe's room.
And is Alek and Tyler's door open?
That I don't recall, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Why did you go to Zoe's room?
Because she said she said the kids were dead. And Zoe was my little angel. That's the first one I went to.
So when you get into Zoe's room, what do you see?
There's a pillow on her head. There's a hand. And there's covers on top of her. She's laying on her mattress on the floor. The mattress is on the floor. She's laying on her mattress.
What do you do?
I went over to her. I uncovered her mouth. I uncovered her face with the pillow. She had told me that she had stabbed the kids. So of course I looked for blood. Looked for anything. Looked for any sign of life. There was nothing. I turned back to her and I said, "I thought you stabbed her." She says, "I thought I did. I didn't know." It bounced off of her.
Okay. So after you discover Zoe, what do you do?
I went to the bathroom and picked up a washcloth. Her mouth was open. Her eyes were open. She looked uncomfortable. It's my normal demeanor to help put my kids in rest. Don't ask me why I did it. I was trying to close her eyes.
You are fake news.
So where's Megan when you're doing
Somewhere
this?
behind me. She was following me, talking to me. At one point, she was standing in the doorway, talking to me from the doorway to me because I was asking her. I said, "I thought you stabbed the kids."
Okay, so you said you had charged your phone the night before. Did you have your phone?
I said I plugged it in and attempted to charge. Little did I know that the charger was not a direct charger. It had to have the engine on. The battery never charged. And I also found out that phone wasn't an active phone. That was a phone that we used for things. So no, it was not charged and it was not a technical phone.
Okay. Were there other phones in the house?
There were other possessions of phones in the house, but Megan hid them and would not tell me where she hid them.
So it's your testimony that you could not have called anybody.
Liar. That's correct. I didn't have a phone. Liar.
And it's daylight, right?
Liar.
Yep. Okay. Is it during the week? Is it on the weekend?
It's on a day that the sun was up. I do not know the days. The only isolation of days I've been given is from a receipt that I saw up there.
Okay. So my question is it during the week or during the weekend? So your answer is what?
A day that sun was up. That's all I know.
Okay. And after you finish with Zoe, what do you do?
Megan was standing there trying to plead with me to talk. She kept bringing up the story of Thomas, the disbeliever, because she wanted me to believe what she was doing. Liar. Brushed her out of the way, and I went into Alek's room.
Steven.
And who was in Alek's room?
Alek.
Where was Tyler?
Tyler was found downstairs.
And was Tyler in the library?
Yes.
So Alek, which bed was Alek's?
Alex was the one, when you walk into the room, you walk in from the door, you have a square bookcase headboard thing. His was the one on this wall. Tyler's was the one on that wall.
Okay. And what'd you find in Tyler's room? Or
in Alek's room?
In Alek and Tyler's room.
Yeah. Alek was on his back, pillow over his head, covers over him, and there was blood. Liar.
How much blood?
Enough that I noticed. I can't really tell you. Because I pulled back the blankets. The shirt had some blood on it, and there was blood on the abdomen.
Was there blood on the blankets?
Didn't inspect it. My goal was to see if they were alive, and my goal was to see what the hell happened.
Okay.
My language.
So after you see Alek, do you go downstairs to Tyler?
No, I actually do the same thing with the washcloth. His eyes were open, and his mouth was gently slack, looked uncomfortable. Normal father thing is to relax their head and relax, and I was just providing them comfort.
Okay. So after you do this with Alek, where do you go?
Tyler.
Okay.
I confirmed with Megan that Tyler was downstairs. Once again, brushed her aside as she's trying to convince me to see things in her light. I told her to leave me the hell alone, and I went down the stairs.
Okay. Do you immediately go into the library?
I opened the door to go into the library, yes.
No.
So the library door was closed.
He confessed.
That I found out when I went downstairs, yes.
So there's a couch.
Why are women everywhere choosing Abby X, the
Why?
new tummy tuck alternative?
I got the tummy tuck
In the library, right?
Yeah, among shelves and a carpet and some toys, yes.
I'm just talking about the couch. Is that couch a pull-out couch?
Yes, it is.
So when you go in there, is the couch pulled out?
He's sleeping on the bed at a pull-out couch, yes.
And what do you find with Tyler?
Tyler's on his back, hand out to the side, blankets over him, pillow over his face, and there's when I remove the blankets, there's blood there.
Exactly.
Okay.
100%.
And do you do the same thing with the washcloth with
Super
Tyler?
narcissistic.
Unfortunately, I didn't go to the bathroom.
Yep. Murder all over again. Yeah, he confessed.
What's it called? Refresh it. It was just on me.
Okay. And where's Megan?
She's at that point standing at the library door,
He
pleading with me
confessed
to
during his, I think, the interrogation, but withdrew when he went to trial.
talk.
At that point, did Megan have anything?
She has some kind of, we have metal glasses, cups. She had that and she was drinking something.
When this is all happening and after you finish with Tyler, where do you go?
Megan at that point had gone up to the bedroom already. And I went up there and told her she needed to get help. I don't care what happened. I don't care what she did. Get help. I will take responsibility. I will do whatever it needs. Please go to the hospital. Tell me where the phones are. Because I'd asked her for the phones were initially. And she goes, I'm not telling you.
Okay. And this conversation is happening where in
the master bedroom?
In the master bedroom. Okay. And where is Megan at when you're having this conversation?
Fluid throughout the bedroom and the bathroom, going back and forth. At one point, I went into the bathroom because there was a Benadryl bottle on the floor. I went into the bathroom and found a garbage bag in which I threw the Benadryl away as I'm looking for the phones.
Okay. And is Megan just kind of walking around? Is she following you? What is she doing?
At that point, she's standing at the side of when I left her to go throw the Benadryl bottle away and look for phones, she was standing at the side of the bed.
On which side?
On her side.
On her side of the bed. So that would be the right side, right?
If you're looking from the foot of the bed, that is correct.
Okay. And does she still have this cup in her hand?
The cup is being up to herself, back down. When I left, the cup was still in her hand.
Okay. Where did you go?
Into the bathroom.
So you're in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Are you at the vanity? Are you in the little stall where the toilet is? Are you in the closet? Where in the bathroom are you?
I'm bouncing around all place, in the closet and around looking for the phones.
Okay, so you're looking for the phones. You're not using the bathroom.
At that point, no.
Okay. And Megan is within the master bedroom, master bathroom.
No, she's in the master bedroom.
She's in the master bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're standing in your master bathroom, can you see in the bedroom?
I can see partial in the bedroom.
What part of the bedroom can you see if you're in the bathroom?
As shown on the photos, if I may reference that.
Yeah.
I could see the green chair and the, what are they called? My mom used to call it a hope chest, but we had a.
The chest at the foot of the bed?
Yes.
Okay. So you're, you can see that view from the bathroom. Is Megan within your view?
No, she's standing by her end table. When I left her, she's standing by the end table on her side of the bed.
Okay. And how long are you in the bathroom?
Don't know. A few minutes.
What happens when you come out of the bathroom?
As I'm walking out of the bathroom, I hear a sound that is similar to a balloon, you know, like you rub a balloon, like a. Mm-hmm. At which point, I poke my head out, you know, as we're coming out, and I see her laying on her back, stabbing herself.
Where at? Is she in the bed? Is she?
She's laying on her back, on her side of the bed, with her head on the pillow, laying on her back, on top of sheets, with the knife in her abdomen.
Liar. What color was the knife?
The knife was the only knife that was there. Was a green buck knife that I bought for the kids as a Christmas present as part of their fishing lures.
Liar. Okay, so she has a green knife.
That's correct.
Is she right-handed or left-handed?
Green-handled knife.
Green-handled knife. Is she right-handed or left-handed?
She's right-handed.
And which hand was on the knife?
Both hands were on the knife.
Both hands were on the knife.
Yes.
And you said that the knife was in her abdomen.
Yes.
When you came out of the bathroom.
Yes.
What did you do?
I stood there in shock. And I said, "What the hell are you doing?" And at that point, she says, "I'm doing what I did to the boys. I'm trying to get my inferior vena cava." I'm sorry. She said, "I'm doing what I did to the boys. I'm trying to get my inferior vena cava."
Did you go for help?
I went over to my wife and pleaded for her to tell me where the phones were. She asked me not to leave her. She did not leave the boys.
So my question is, did you go for help? Yes or no?
The answer is no.
After Megan dies, how long, what do you do? What do you do?
Well, we skipped over quite a bit there. I don't know if you want to go through everything or not.
What did you do after Megan died?
What did I do? I yelled out the window to see if anybody was around to help. There was some weird sound coming from her mouth. I thought she was breathing. I started CPR after I wiped her mouth off with that gray pillow.
Okay, so she stabs herself once or twice?
Like I said before, she stabbed herself a cumulative times of twice.
Okay. And these are right after each other?
That is no.
Okay, so what happens?
She stabbed herself the first time. I sat there pleading with her to allow me to find the phones, to allow me to leave her to go get help. My loyalty is to my wife. She did not want to be alone. I thought if I stood there, she said she was going through the inferior vena cava. I have medical experience to know that one of those major arteries will bleed out quickly. In the area of the house, we liked the house rental because there was no one around. Neighbors weren't there. Most of the neighbors around us were snowbirds. If I left her, I thought she was going to die. I thought in my decision-making, the best chance was for her to tell me where the phones were. At one point, I hate to say I annoyed her. I was trying to convince her, trying to talk in her language, saying, obviously the universe doesn't want you to go. She says, I want to be with my kids. I need to be with my kids. So I leave.
Objection, non-responsive. What do you do after Megan dies?
Like I said, I yell out the front window of our bedroom for anybody. Help, 202, please. I don't know where the phones are. I hear some kind of weird breathing, some kind of weird air exchange, something. No heartbeat. They never went over that in CPR class. But
Shop smart and save up to 30% on quality furniture at Raymore & Flanigan. Pay on your schedule with low monthly payments, no interest, and no deposit. Create a home you'll love today and forever, only with Raymore & Flanigan.
The rich are significantly pumping money into real assets, doubling their investments into one asset in particular. That real asset is fine art.
What Masterworks does is genius. They buy high-end art pieces, securitize them, and allow you to invest in them with shares. And so far, they've been right on the money, recently selling a painting with a 35% net return to investors.
These aren't NFTs. They're real paintings, securitized by the SEC. And with Masterworks, generally, there is a waitlist.
you know what? I was trying anything. So I started CPR, chest compressions. And when I didn't see her breathing, I would do mouth compressions. I didn't care about the blood. I didn't care about all that.
What do you do after this?
At what point are you referencing?
What do you do the rest of the day? It's the morning. What do you do the rest of the day?
I literally broke down there and cried. Don't ask me how long, because I have no idea how long.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm really, really tired tonight. I've done a lot of live streaming this week, and tonight's like really caught up. I was out fixing my car today with my friend. We were out in the sun for about 3 or 4 hours today, and you can probably see it in my face. I got a lot of sun on my face. My face is like red, but yeah, I'm super, super tired. I'm gonna try to finish this one up since we're almost at the end of the video. I was gonna play the. I was gonna do the sentencing, but I can't. It's like a 24-minute video. I just can't do that tonight. I don't have the energy tonight. I'm sorry.
Say the confusion.
We'll finish this up.
I was gonna say whatever.
Yeah.
I couldn't help my wife pass. I felt a failure. I wasn't there the night my kids were died. I felt a failure. I decided that I wanted to be with my family, that I wanted to die, that I deserved to die. I condemned myself to death. I was ashamed.
What did you do?
I sat there and cried for a while. At some point that I realized now, after seeing the receipt up there, I decided I was going to go and get a gun. At some point, as the receipt said, on 12/18, I went and purchased that first pellet gun. After I inquired, we're purchasing a gun to find out that there's a 3-day rule in Florida. I've never purchased a gun before. I purchased that gun, which was a pellet gun that I was planning to give my kids, my boys, a Christmas present with. I left and came back.
What kind of gun were you trying to buy?
Any gun they would sell me.
Did you try and buy a shotgun?
No, I tried to buy. I was trying to buy handguns. I inquired with them. I didn't inquire on a specific model. I said, I never bought a gun before. How do I go about buying a gun?
Are you aware that the wait period doesn't apply to a shotgun?
I've never bought a gun before.
Okay. Well, you inquired about buying a gun, right?
I inquired about buying a gun.
So this trip to Academy happened after everybody in your family was dead.
That's correct.
So on 12/18, the day of that receipt, everybody in your family was dead.
That's correct.
And was everybody in your family alive for the awards banquet on December 14th of 2019?
That was a Saturday, correct?
It was the day of the awards, the day that Alek and Tyler got awards.
Yes, they were both attendants. They played the recital.
Okay. So how soon after their deaths did you go to Academy?
Well, if that was the 14th, I went to 18th, so that was 4 days later.
So how soon after they died did you go to Academy?
I don't know timeline. I know sun was up and I went over. Could it have been the same day? Most likely.
Okay. So Did you go anywhere else besides Academy?
On that day?
Between December 18th that day and January 13th, where did you go?
I went to CVS for Benadryl.
How many times?
I think twice. I also went to Walgreens for Benadryl for that wall dry.
How many times?
Well, considering wall dry was disgusting, only once. That I remember.
Did you go anywhere else?
No.
I picked up.
We weren't. It's hot. It's hot in
Food
my
at
house
Columbia
today.
one night.
It's really, really hot right now. I'm sweating. That's why I've been kind of moving around.
Anywhere else?
The leather chairs. I'm sweating.
Not that I recall.
Did you go to Sarasota?
No. There was no way I could drive to Sarasota.
Did you leave your phone at a Starbucks in Sarasota?
If I didn't go to Sarasota, I didn't leave my phone.
Yeah,
So you're denying that you
really
went to
hot
Starbucks
there.
in Sarasota?
In Sarasota, that's correct.
And so you never went to the beach in Sarasota?
Nope. It was over 2 hours away. There was no way I could drive.
And you did see the interview that was played yesterday, right?
Correct. I did see the interview.
And you did speak with the detective more than one time, right?
That's what they tell me.
You're denying this knowledge?
Yeah. I don't even remember talking to the interview that day.
So you don't remember talking to the detective on January 15th of 2020?
Last thing I remember was falling down the stairs and saying, "You hold on to somebody in custody, deputy." Next thing I knew, I woke up in jail. I thought I was in purgatory with a red floor and the bright sky.
Okay,
Oh God,
so,
this guy.
You discussed a lot of information, wouldn't you agree, in the January 15th, 2020 interview?
From what I saw, yes. And from what I read, yes.
And you adequately discussed Megan's health conditions that you were aware of, correct?
Correct. The ones that she suffered for the previous 8 years with, yes.
And you also spoke about various trips to Academy.
That's what I said, yes.
And you went to Academy at some point as well to purchase a longer knife?
That's correct.
And isn't it true that you also said in the interview, you spoke about the note that was left?
That's correct.
And you told law enforcement that you printed it after Megan's death?
Correct.
And you testified here today that that wasn't true?
That's correct.
And that wasn't the first time you told that to law enforcement, was it?
Well, actually, let me correct the facts on that case, please, if you may. The initial note was the one I didn't print out. The note I found in my pocket after, which is the note Meg printed out, that I found in my pocket after I urinated myself in the garage after one hallucination and drank what I thought was coffee, but I'm pretty sure it was motor oil.
This guy.
I went into the house, stripping, and found the note in my pocket.
Which note?
The note Megan had left.
What was on that note?
On that note was essentially, I didn't read this note.
Some people say our trade-in process feels too easy. They can't believe it's 100% online.
But from what I recall, it said we did it as a family, which she referred to as family lineage. I had a different relationship, a different definition of family. And the other thing was where she wanted her ashes. At the bottom of that note, it said, "Tony, I love you forever. Please forgive me."
What did you do with it?
What did I do with that?
Yeah.
I took it out of my urine-soaked pants and retyped it because I wanted my residual family, or my leftover, the family that was alive,
My leftover family.
to keep the knowledge that we were a family unit. And I wanted my wife to know, I want my wife's wishes known where she wanted the ashes buried. She wanted to be buried with her father, where we released the ashes at Harkness.
What?
All right. So how do we all feel? We had enough of this. I'm kind of tired. I want to get off stream, I think. I can leave the link if you all want to continue to watch it afterwards. I'm really, really tired. I'm like falling asleep, and I have a huge Sunday show planned. We're gonna do more Idaho stuff. Yeah, Chosen. Yeah, I gotta go. I'm tired. I hate to cut the stream early. I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm really tired. I got a lot of sun today. We're out fixing my car, and I got a big show on planned for Sunday. So let's do this. It's tough when I'm not like talking, so I just tend to like get kind of tired, and I'll be honest, I'm really burnt out. I'm gonna drop the link for Sunday's show. So if you all want to set your reminders, you can. Sunday's going to be another Koberger show, of course. What we're going to do on that show is we're going to go back to the very beginning when the murders in Idaho were first reported. So I'm going to dig up some news footage, some articles, and go back and then take us up to present day to where we're at. So I think I don't want to say like that'll be fun, but I think it'll be interesting to go back and just see how it was, what the reports were, what the media was reporting, what was being speculated at certain points. So I'll put together a good presentation on Sunday. Also, did you all get a chance to watch the video that I dropped today? If you haven't, I'd appreciate a look on that video if you can. Put it in your queue. I'll drop the link for that video as well. And that's the link there for the video I dropped today. Sub counts out 3236. We're gaining strong. Channel is growing. My goal is by June 26th, the pre-trial hearing, first date, to have that saying 5,000 subscribers. So we're getting really, really close. Really, really close. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for watching this Throwback Thursday. It was a fun time to see how cringy Anthony Tote was on the stand. And if you get a chance, I'll drop the video link for when the judge basically throws the book at Anthony Tote, if you want to watch that. Let's see. Next Tuesday, for Serial Killer Tuesday, we're going to do Ted. Who do I have planned for that? Not Ted. Oh, Richard. Yeah, Ted Kaczynski. I said that because I just recently watched Saving Private Ryan again, and they talk about Ted Kaczynski in that movie. Richard Kuklinski, the Iceman. We're going to do that on Tuesday for the Serial Killer Tuesday. I will see you guys all on Sunday. Of course, I love all my faithfuls. We're going to give a couple more sound bites before we go.
Liar. Steven.
All right. Let's see. One more.
How dare you?
All right, that's it. I'll see you all on Sunday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to get some rest. I am burnt out and tired. I need the rest. I got a long work weekend ahead of me. But thanks for chiming in, everybody. Make sure to watch that video. Get over there and...
You are fake news. Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing.
Make sure to go over and watch that video. See what you think. I will see you on Sunday Fun Day. Bye, guys. Good night.